Okay. So in the last class, we have discussed about deviation in geometrical and optical parameters. So in that particular class, we have discussed like three major cases which causes this particular deviation. What are this one? So the first one is what? Core mismatch. The second one is what? A numerical aperture mismatch. The third one is what? Index mismatch. So, well, in that case, what exactly happens is all light from one fiber is not transmitted to another fiber. That is what exactly the problem which is going to happen. So when all light which get transmitted from one fiber to another fiber, then there is no problem. So if it is not transmitted, then only the problem arises. Okay. So because of mismatch mechanism, what exactly happens? Core mismatch, numerical mismatch, and index profile mismatch. So when these three things mismatches are happening, so obviously we are going to face some lot of problems. Okay. So later, just a conclusion of the intrinsic classes. Okay. So here, these intrinsic classes are due to the Fresnel reflection and deviation in geometrical and optical parameters. So here, why the name intrinsic? Intrinsic means inside. So inside the fiber cable, what exactly the problem which are going to happen? Then it is called as what? Intrinsic classes. Okay. So now when I'm talking about the extrinsic, so it is something like due to the external forces. Okay, if something is mismatched and some problem is there, then it is called as what? Extrinsic losses. So today we shall start studying about extrinsic losses. So you can make a note of it. These are the losses due to some imperfection in splicing. Okay, so when you are, we know that what is the splicing? Splicing means what? It is a mechanism to joint two fibers by means of soldering. So it may be the permanent or maybe the temporary. So now in that case, the permanent or temporary, it is something like these losses due to some imperfection in splicing. So these are caused by misalignment. So now in this particular extensive classes, misalignment, there are three possible types we have. So what are the three possible types of misalignment at the joint are the longitudinal, lateral and angular misalignment. So now longitudinal misalignment, the figure A indicates, okay, from the left hand side you can see the figure A. So now when you're talking about the longitudinal misalignment, what exactly happens? So that means what? There is a gap. Even though the two fibers are in the same axis, there is a gap between the two fibers. So gap is denoted by L. So that particular air gap, this particular air gap which occurs while doing the splicing will causes the losses of signal at the joint. So this particular scenario is called as what? Longitudinal misalignment. So now second thing is what? Lateral misalignment. So now lateral misalignment means, so you can see the diagram. So two fibers are joined together, but what exactly the problem is? One, the core axis are not matching with the second one. First fiber core axis is not matching with the second fiber core axis. If the axes are not matching, okay, so that means what? There is a lateral misalignment which is present. So that you can see in the diagram B. So that means what? That is not exactly joined together. Even though there is no air gap, there is some slight misalignment in the terms of lateral. Okay, so that particular causes the loss of the signal. That is what? Lateral misalignment. So now when you see the diagram number C, so here even though the core axis, the lateral misalignment is not there, longitudinal is also not there. So now there is some other kind of problem which is occurring. What is that? So in one side of the fiber, there is some bend. Okay, so if there is a bend in one particular side of the fiber, what exactly happens? So some small deviation, angle deviation will be present. So that particular angular deviation will cause us the loss of the signal. That particular scenario is called as what? Angular misalignment. So this particular question is asked for 8 marks or 6 marks in the examination. So it is something like 50% chances are there. So to 1 out of 2 papers, the question is asked. So explain the types of misalignment at the joint of an optical fiber or optical fiber communication, something like that they will ask. So at that particular point of time, so you need to write this particular answer, whereas you have to consider the 3 cases. The first case is what? Longitudinal misalignment with a diagram and some explanation, you write it. Second one is what? Lateral misalignment. So diagram plus explanation. The third thing is what? Angular misalignment. So these things must be taken care. So please make a note of it, all of you. So please make a note of this particular diagram, all of you. So once you take this particular diagram, we'll move on to the next slide. So now here losses due to the lateral and longitudinal misalignment. Okay, and the losses due to the angular misalignment and all. So that particular scenario is explained in terms of a graphical method. The first graph, okay, top side, we can see that there we have taken the x-axis, that is displacement in terms of micrometer, and in the y-axis we have taken the insertion loss. So the figure A, the top figure, indicates that loss due to the lateral and longitudinal misalignment for 50 micrometer core diameter of graded indexed fiber. So you can see that. So as the displacement, okay, so displacement in the axis we have taken, as the displacement is keep on increasing. So longitudinal loss, you can see that what you call for that insertion loss will be less. Okay, so it is it can be considered as a minimum. Why? Because some gap is there also. So the light will propagate because the axes are matching. Okay, that is why longitudinal is not having that much impact on losses. That is the first thing. Second thing, what exactly happens when you see the curve in the lateral? Okay, so lateral, that means what? As the displacement is increasing. Okay, so as the gap is getting increased, so lateral misalignment losses are going to be much more higher, very higher. It is something like exponential. It is going to be increasing. So that is why even though longitudinal misalignment is there, we can somewhat tolerate and we can somewhat neglect, but we should not tolerate the lateral misalignment losses. So now the figure B indicates that insertion loss due to the angular misalignment for joints into multi-mode step index fibers with the numerical aperture 0.22 and 0.3. So now in this particular things we have taken. So now here what exactly happened? Misalignment angle in terms of degrees we have taken in the x-axis, and the same losses we have taken in the y-axis. Okay. So now something like when air gap, okay, numerical aperture 0.3, how much losses is there? So air gap is present, numerical aperture is equal to 0.22, how it behaves? Okay, so index matched gap, if it is there. So when it is the numerical aperture equal to 0.22, what is the loss curve we can able to see in the graph. Okay, so this is an experimentally proved and it is experimentally observed graphs what we are projecting here. So we have not done in our lab. So it is the technical specification, or else the scientists have done it and they have given this particular graphs. We are just observing this graph and analyzing that. Okay, so if the misalignment is more, the angle of degree is more, then so losses is also going to be more. Okay, if the numerical aperture is less, so losses is going to be more. If the numerical aperture is more, that you can see that the bottom line, that is numerical aperture equal to 0.3, then the losses is somewhat lesser for the same degree of angle when you compare with the numerical aperture of 0.22. So now that is air gap we are talking about. When it is called as index matched gap, something like index matched fluid in the last class when I was discussing, I told you. So in that case, what exactly happened? The losses will be still more high. So you can make a note of this particular graph also. So you can make a note of it. So I'll give you 2 minutes of time. Please make a note of it. So now 42 students are there. Okay. So now I request all of you do one thing. The quiz. Okay. So quiz is already posted in the group. Okay. So if you are not attended the quiz, so you can just I'll give you 2 minutes of okay. I'll give you 5 minutes of exactly 5 minutes of time. So you can open the quiz and you can take the quiz and you can come back. Okay. So the company is not you are not going to exit the MS team. You're just going to the quiz option. There is assignment option. So go to the assignment option. In the assignment option only quiz I posted. So search for it, take the quiz, and after taking the quiz, you can raise your hand here. Okay, in the chat box, you can put your message that, sir, I completed the quiz, like that. So I'll just post the message. Okay, how many? Okay, raise your hands. Raise your hand if you have taken quiz. Okay, so you can raise your hand, or else you can do one thing also. You can post in the message chat box that I have taken, sir. I have taken, like that you can make. So those are not taken. I am given 5 minutes. Please go there, complete the quiz, and come back here. So 5, 6, 7, 8 members have raised the hands. So only 8 people have taken. Okay, 9, 10, 11. 11, 12, 13. It has gone. 13 students have taken the quiz. What about others? Please take the quiz. 14 completed. Fourteen students have raised their hands. 15 now. $16 now. So you're not supposed to leave the session. I just ask you to. I'm just asking you to take the quiz and you can come back to the session only. Don't leave the session. So I given 5 minutes of time, that 3 minutes is over. Another 2 minutes. Last 2 minutes, make it fast. See, I expect all of you must take the quiz. So that our interaction will be there, okay? So that we can also see that what students are doing, whether they are really curious and whether they are really studying in online and something like adaptive learning, it will be there, okay? So you need to see if you go just take the quiz and if you just write the answers for it. So just a selection. It's very easy thing, okay? So out of 43 now, as of now, present, only 12 students raised the hands. What about remaining 31 students? So I am expecting all students to take the quiz, participate in it, actively participate in everything. Okay. So Chetan DS, you want to talk anything?
Nothing, sir.
I would take on the quiz.
Yes, sir.
Good. How much marks is scored?
20 and 20.
Huh?
20 and 20, sir.
20 and 20. Very good. Because I given only for 12. How can you get 20 and 20?
Okay, sir. 12 and 12.
This is the problem. Why? Because so what we think our students will do. Okay, but when you do like this, it will get a confusion for a teacher. Okay, whether you take an our subject or some other subject, I don't know. Please check it out. Okay, anyhow, so those who are taking the quiz, no problem. You can take the quiz and they can come back. So by that time we will start to the next slide. So next topic we'll understand is the fiber splices. So here fiber plus splicing when I'm talking about. So we told that we have been discussed that it is a permanent or temporary, or you can say that permanent or semi-permanent joints. So when we're talking about the permanent joint, there are two broad categories we are going to understand. So in that particular two broad categories, the first category is what? Fusion, splicing or welding. So fusion, splicing or welding is the first category. So what it will be done is it is accomplished by applying localized heating, okay, a flame or an electric arc at the interface between two butted pre-aligned fiber ends, causing them to soften and fuse. So now here what exactly we'll do is, so localized area, that means what entire fiber we are not going to eat it. So you are just eating the required area and we are going to join them. So that is what exactly called as what fusion, splicing or welding. So here what exactly happens, since the fibers are made with the glass and all, so they need to, when you are heating, they will get melting like that. Okay, soften from hard surface, hard material to soft material, it gets converted. So once it gets softened, so we are going to join them and we are going to fuse them, and then once it is fused, it will get cool and it is joined permanently. Like that it is going to be happening. So the fusion splicing we are talking about. The second thing is what mechanical splicing. So we are talking about the mechanical splicing. The fibers are held in alignment by some mechanical means. Okay, so here fibers are held in alignment. In alignment means the core should matches. The core area should match. So fibers are held in alignment with some mechanical means. So these things can be achieved by various methods. That is tube splices and groove splices. Tube splices and groove splices. So your mechanical methods means we are just holding them. Okay, something like tube splices means, so there will be a tube-like structure. So we are inserting the fibers, optical fibers on either end. So when you are inserting the optical fibers from either end, so what exactly happens? So that particular tube will uh, join the fibers and it will hold the fibers permanently. Okay, permanently means what? The connections will be like a permanent only. When till we remove that, if it is not getting damaged, it is permanent only. Okay, like that it is going to be holded. So then next is what groove splices. Groove splices means what? We are going to insert some groove and we are going to screw it them. Okay, so that is what exactly called as what groove splices. So two categories. The first one is what fusion splicing or welding. Second category is on mechanical splicing. So now must have, once we do it, so it must have smooth and square end faces. So your end preparation achieved by using the suitable tools called as what cleavers, scribe and break, or score and break. So these are the different tools what we have in order to perform the jointing or the fiber splicing. So scoring of fibers surface under tension with cutting tool. So that is what exactly is been shown in the diagram. So here what exactly happen is I can see that on the top of the fiber. Okay. So here the knife edge initiate the crack propagation. So here the fiber to be cleaved. So that is been mounted on the outer surface. It is curved mandrel we say. So fiber is been bent. Okay. So optical fiber end preparation, the principle of scribe and break cutting. This is the method which is going to be shown in the diagram. So now after understanding this one, we can go for the fiber cleavers. We can go through the diagram. So now only 16, as of now only 16 have raised their hands that they have completed the quiz. What about other students? Are you all here? Okay, Abhilash V, Abhishek Kumar, Aishwarya B. Akash MS, Akansha Joni Soni, Akash MS Bhumi, Bhumi Reddy, B Pavitra, Dhanuja Arshita, Harshit, Hemant Reddy, HS Manasa, Hindu, Jeevan SU, Kanchana Pavar Kumar Reddy, Kokila, Madhusudan, Mohan Kumar, Nitish, Pavan, Prajwal. So what about you people? Have you taken the question? You have taken the quiz or not?
Yes, sir.
Good. So now you can see that fiber cleavers. So these are all see one action cleaver, handheld cleaver. So all these are necessary devices for performing the splicing action. Okay, nothing else we are doing. So a two action cleaver, that is fiber cleaving and fusion splicing tool. So one action cleaver, handheld cleaver. See, no need of worrying about all this in detail. Just remember the names. So here cable protection equipment. So that is multi-pack we say. The brand and the device name is multi-pack. So here multi-pack means what? Enhanced quality to prevent cracks and fiber strength degradation. It allows skill-free operation of factory fiber preparation and field splicing applications. So these are equipped with high precision tensile strips and automatic ultrasonic cleaning action. So all these are the features of the multi-pack. Okay, so here one thing we need to understand is it allows a skill-free operation of factory fiber preparation. That means what you need to have the skill. Just on it and off it. If you know what exactly written on the English, then it is fine. So that is what exactly the meaning of skill free. So the next thing is what fusion splicing of optical fibers. Fusion splicing of optical fibers. So you can see that electric arc fusion splicing. So some diagram has been given there. So here what exactly happened? Fixed block and movable block. Two blocks will be there. So in that particular two blocks, what exactly happens is one particular fixed block will be holding the fiber, one fiber one. So movable block is been taken into consideration. It will be having fiber number 2. So here movable block will be moved to and fro and will make it to a joint and axis to be maintained in a proper direction. So once everything is been set, then we can see that electrodes are there. So those electrodes are being taken into the joint position, and by using some heating mechanism, so the joint is being prepared. Okay, joint is being made. So that after once the joint everything is being made, so we can unlock the fibers and we can take out the fibers from the fusion splicing. So when you're talking about the features of it, it requires fiber end surfaces to be prepared for joint. So your heating of prepared fiber ends to fusion point with application of axial pressure between the two fibers. So positioning and alignment using microscopes are being incorporated. So your positioning and alignment are very important. So if any mistake is happening between this particular thing, that is positioning and alignment, so we are going to lose the signal. So next particular position is next particular method is perfusion method. So here no need of end preparation. So here two things you can take it like perfusion method. The four things. Okay. So here four diagrams you can for process you can see that. So initial setting. So fiber 1, fiber 2 have been taken. Electrodes have been taken. That is the first setting. Second thing is what? Arrangement of smooth surface by perfusion. So we are going to make it the arrangement of smooth surface. So electric arc, electric surface, everything is there. So next is what? Third thing is what? Pressed together. So these are pressed together. So we can see that in the third diagram. In the second diagram there is a gap, and third diagram those are joined. So the fourth diagram, accomplishment of splice. So here in the fourth diagram, accomplishment of splice means what? So what is our goal? We need to join. So that is that particular joining process has been over. Okay, that is been incorporated, that is been explained here. Okay, four methods: initial setting, arrangement of smooth surface by perfusion. Third thing is what? Pressed together. Fourth one is what? Accomplishment of splice. So when you do this particular process, so what is the advantage? Advantage is what? The loss, when you're talking about the loss, is the loss will be the smaller than the Fresnel reflection loss. So on the typical losses when you're talking about, it will be only the 0.1 to 0.2 dB for multi-mode fibers. So you can go through the diagrams. So once you've gone through this particular diagram, so we'll move on to the next thing. So your fusion splicers, when you're talking about the devices, okay, the ready-made devices, so which can be used for joining the optical fibers. So they look like this. They'll be having the provision. So they will be inserting the two fibers and they will be doing the process. So now we are joint after fusion splicing. So the regular fiber, when you're talking about regular fiber, how the joint is being made, and when talking about the erbium doped fiber, how it is going to be happen. So you can see that. Okay. So we're talking about the regular fiber and erbium doped fiber joining together. So at that particular point of time, we can see that there is a drawback. What is that particular drawback? The fiber get weakened near the splice. The fiber fracture occur near the heat affected zone adjacent to the fiber joint. So here the splice be packaged to reduce the tensile loading. So next thing is what? Protection of joints. So when you're talking about the protection of joints, so these are the things like protection sleeves for spliced fibers. That are the things which are available. The second thing is what? Underground fiber splice tray will be there. Third thing is what? Fiber joint enclosures. So all these things will protect the fiber joints. So mechanical splicing. So this particular mechanical splicing diagram is very important. You can make a note of it. So this mechanical splicing uses accurately produced rigid alignment tubes into which the fiber prepared ends are permanently bonded. So here permanent bonding is been taken care. So it uses accurately produced rigid alignment tubes into which the prepared fiber ends are permanently bonded. So here glass or ceramic capillary. A square cross-section capillary is been shown here. So here techniques for tube splicing of optical fibers have been discussed. The first one is what snug tube splice. The second one is what loose tube splice, square cross section capillary. So capillary means what? It is an outer surface. So here snug tube splice means so it is also circular shape. So it is been joined together. So it is acting as a bonding element. Okay, so here glass or ceramic capillary. So that means what one particular big, somewhat slightly higher diameter capillary is there. Inside that one two fibers have been fixed. So that means what they will join together. Okay, so it is like a mounting. So in the loose tube splices, so that is square cross section capillary. So you can make a note of this particular diagram, all of you. So once you take this particular diagrams, we'll move on to the next thing. So when you're talking about the comparison of two approaches, so that is the first thing is what loose, first thing is snug tube splices, and the second thing is what loose tube splices. In the snug tube splices, it exhibits problems with capillary tolerance requirements. So here in the loose tube splices, it avoids the critical tolerance requirements. So that means what? Loose tube splices are more advantageous. Okay. So the tolerance requirements is not there. So obviously it is having a more advantage. The second thing is what? The losses. Okay, the losses are up to 0.5 dB with the snug tube splice, ceramic capillaries. But when you're talking about the losses with respect to the loose tube splices, losses will be only 0.1 dB. So that means what? When the loss is less, we can go for it. So it is having the two advantages. The first advantage is what? It avoids the critical tolerance requirements. The second thing is what? The losses will be very less, that is 0.1 dB. So you can make a note of it. So now we'll go to the next topic, that is ultra splice. So ultra splice means what? Very small. Okay. So here in that ultra splice, that is reusable mechanical splicing. That means what? There will be provision for connecting the two fibers. So once you connect it, you can use it, or else once you don't want it, you can detach it. So here in the average loss, after finding so many things, they found that average loss will be approximately 0.2 dB. The next type of losses is groove splices.